I saw 2 movies this week and the finale for Peacemaker Season 2, and that's the most I've watched in a long time in 1 week. So you're welcome. Let's talk about it.
Delicious hot schmoes.
Let's start with Peacemaker.
Julian, it's a hungry world. They're gonna eat you alive, son. Yeah.
I love Peacemaker Season 1. Peacemaker Season 1 is one of my favorite superhero projects ever, simply because it is just hilarious and it's fun, and the characters that it sets up and works with are just awesome. I love them all.
Hey, you're invited if you want.
I don't want to come to your abortion, man.
Season 2, however, I would say, for me personally, little bit of a letdown. Simply because I felt like all of the good things that made Season 1 really, really good weren't things that they focused on in Season 2. Namely, the relationship between Peacemaker and Vigilante.
Look, hey, I'm begging you. Will you please, just look at my crotch. Come on.
I felt like got really kind of toned down, and instead we followed the relationship of Peacemaker and Adebayo and Peacemaker and Hardcore.
You're like Louis C.K.
Because I'm funny?
I loved those relationships being built, but I desperately missed seeing Adrian / Vigilante shine. His comedy is hilarious. The way that he interacts with everybody is hilarious, and I just felt like that got toned down a lot in Season 2, and that was a little bit sad for me, because I love the character of Vigilante in that show.
Fucking funny, dude? No! You show people your dick.
What does that have to do with Louis C.K.'s comedy specials?
But I did enjoy the show overall. I think the relationships that they did focus on building and fleshing out were done very well. And James Gunn, he can tell an emotional story within a world that is just ridiculous.
I believe in miracles because of you. I saw an eagle hug a human.
And I think that that's what makes him really, really good at certain projects, namely Peacemaker, namely the Guardians of the Galaxies. I think that like his work on those worlds and those characters is unmatched. He's done so good with those things, and I'm excited to see more. You know, he said that they're not planning to do a Season 3, but, you know, fingers crossed. You know, maybe they do a Season 3.
Why are you crying?
I'm not crying. Fucking doing face muscle exercises. I'm next.
I finally got to go watch, I finally made myself go watch, really, One Battle After Another. I've seen tons of people on the internet, but they're probably all sponsored posts, who knows. But I've seen tons of people on the internet that just say, you have to go watch this movie, it's phenomenal, it's great. First off, it's 3 hours long, just by the way, if you didn't know that. I forgot to check the runtime on this movie when I went to go watch it on, I watched it yesterday, actually. Yeah, so I went at like 6 o'clock. I was like, yeah, I'll be done by 8, be able to get home, hang out with friends. No, I was at the theater till 9:10. Like, it was ridiculous. The movie was good. It's not a movie that I think I'll go back and rewatch for any reason. The story is really interesting. You follow Leo DiCaprio's character, and you see things that happen earlier in his life that then cause him to be in situations where he and his family are in danger. There's a lot of political nuance and on-the-nose stuff that gets played around with. Most of this movie kind of feels very serious. But there is a very interesting comedic undertone for the entire movie that is actually really funny and had me laughing in quite a few places. And I did not expect that from this movie. I won't talk spoilers about it just in case anybody was planning to go see it, but it was good. And I would say it's probably worth a watch at some point, but I would probably tell you to just wait till it's on streaming, so that way you can pause it if you don't want to watch the movie because it's 3 hours long. So, yeah. But it was good.
I need a weapon, man. All you got is goddamn nunchucks here. You know where I can get a gun?
And of course, it's not gonna be a last week on a Monday video if I don't talk about Tron.
Flynn! Am I still to create the perfect system? Yeah.
You guys are probably sick of me talking about this movie or this franchise. I do not care because it's so fun. I love these movies. They are phenomenal. And Tron Ares, which came out this last weekend, if you caught my reaction video, I'm just going to say this again. I loved that movie. I saw it twice in the same day. It was so much fun. It was so enjoyable. As a fan of Tron and of Tron Legacy and of the vibes and the stories and just the ridiculousness of that franchise, I loved this new installment. Yeah, Jared Leto's in the movie. Don't love that, but he played the character he was given very well, and I do believe that the story built upon the lore of Tron and of the grid in very tasteful ways. There are lots of nods to both the original and to Tron Legacy that I absolutely loved. And although some of the characters that we love, like Sam and Cora from the Tron Legacy or Tron, are not in this movie, it was still good. Now, just for anybody who's curious, the reason that Tron isn't in this movie is because Tron is dead. Just letting you know that. He dies in Legacy. If you didn't catch that part of the movie, it's at the very end when Kevin Flynn goes and kills everybody. That entire grid goes dark. The problem that we have now is this movie has not performed very well, which is very disappointing to me. I was very hyped and hopeful that this movie would be a knock your socks off, knock it out of the park for the box office, but it just hasn't been doing well. Its opening weekend was lower than both Tron Legacy, which was the previous Tron movie in this franchise. That makes me really sad. But I loved the movie, so at the same time, I mean, I got a great movie for myself. So, though we may not see another one for many years, I got a good movie that I can go back and rewatch. So, I think I can be okay with it. And if anything's, if we stick to this current trend of Tron movies, it'll be about 7 years. We'll see a fourth one in about 7 years, because it was 30 years from the first to the second, and then about 15 years from the second to the third. So about 7 years or so from the third to the fourth, give or take. I think that's right. So we're gonna grab Swankley real quick. He'll give us your 2 thoughts, since you guys seem to like it when he shows up for these videos. So this is editing schmo. Yeah, so Swankley and I ended up talking for like 30 minutes. So I'm going to also link that video of just our uncut, unfiltered conversation about Tron, just in the description below. So if you feel like checking it out, go for it. It's just us two, just 2 random human beings talking about Tron.
Biodigital jazz, man.
True.
We have been talking about this movie for so long. So
Ever since I think since it got announced, I watched Tron Legacy 14 times.
That's wild. I didn't watch it that many times, but that
It's in my top 5 greatest of all times.
That's
so,
fair. And it deserves to be there. It deserves to be there. Tron Legacy is one of the greatest films ever produced.
It's a cult. I would say it's a cult classic,
It is a cult classic for sure. And I mean, like, when it was released, it was not, it wasn't well received from what I know. I was young,
Yeah.
so to me it was the coolest thing ever. So, but my question is, because you obviously love Tron Legacy, you love the original Tron as well.
Yeah.
Did Tron Ares live up to the hype that you and I have been giving it for the last, what has it been? Year?
A year, I'd say, yeah.
A year? Like,
Yeah.
or at least for the last of this year, do you think it's lived up to the hype that we have given it?
So you have to know that this is going to be a biased opinion because I really like Tron
Yeah.
in all factors. So, in short, yes.
Yeah. Fair. And
I want to hear you in short, and then we can dive into it.
in short, also yes. Right, I did post a reaction video on Friday just because I needed to post that, but like genuinely, like this movie was so much fun. I loved watching this movie. You and I, obviously, we saw it twice in the same day, like within 4 hours of each other, and it was just as good both times. Loved it.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I actually think it's better a second time, which I don't know why. I actually don't know how to answer why, but it definitely was better, and I think maybe you have to get used to the Jared Leto effect, mostly. So, whether that's negative or not, it's like a per person opinion, and a lot of people hate him, but...
Yep. I mean, there are valid reasons to not like Jared Leto. Typically, I don't like Jared Leto. However, I think the role that he plays in this movie was done well. So, I don't think Jared Leto is a... Personally, Jared Leto is not a reason for me to not like the movie. So.
Pretty much, yeah. So Jared Leto, I think this definitely was his best work in film. But I'm pretty hyped. I actually think that a lot of people were going into this movie like, oh, it's going to be like Legacy. And Legacy was about Kevin Flynn's grid. This movie was about Dillinger, the Dillinger systems. Sure, it was called Tron, but it was about Dillinger systems grid and the greed,
100%.
continuous greed behind the Dillinger name.
Yeah.
So that, if you realize that it is not a Kevin Flynn story and it's more of like in the universe of Tron, you might enjoy it more. Get over the fact that Jared Leto is weird.
Yeah.
He's actually a cool guy. I mean, he replied to my comments multiple times online. So now I just kind of like his work now, and just because of that, no bias. But
Fair.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right where I think everybody went in wanting this to be Legacy.
On Legacy 2, yeah.
And because they didn't get a Legacy 2, it's just automatically bad. Yeah. But there was no way it was ever going to be a Legacy 2 for multiple different reasons. Obviously, because Disney didn't want to cast those characters or write that story or whatever. 2, Jared Leto and Jeff Bridges are like leading people of like, hey, let's get this going and let's get this working. Jared Leto wanted to be a part of the
financed
film.
a lot of the early development. So
yeah. And one of the biggest draws to like Legacy is the soundtrack by Daft Punk, which is still to this day the best soundtrack ever made. But when you have that situation of, hey, the iconicness of both visuals and the music aren't going to exist in the same way, you're not going to get the same movie. There's not a way to do a true Legacy 2, even if you hired somebody who has a sound more similar to Daft Punk, it's not going to be the same. And that's partially why I think Nine Inch Nails was the perfect option, is because it just drastically says this isn't Legacy. We're not doing Legacy 2. We're doing Tron Ares. It's different. It's unique. Still good. Go watch
And it's
the movie.
still in the universe.
And
just
it's
not
still
a
in
Legacy
universe,
movie.
but it's not Legacy. It's its own thing that fits into the overall story of Tron and of the characters that we know and love. And so I think that that's where a lot of people just are upset about it, is they believe that it was going to be this. They didn't get it. And so they're upset.
Yeah. And that kind of segues into what I've seen this comment a lot on TikTok. People say a Tron movie without Tron is not a Tron movie. And I sit there and I'm like, what do you even know about Tron, bro? I legit had Tron birthdays growing up, and I've listened to the Tron Legacy album more than you've been alive. Like, longer than you've been alive, bro. I swear. Because the way they talk, I'm like, do you even know what you're talking about? Like, that's all jokes, by the way. I'm not trying to be a nerd too much, but I will nerd out about this part. Tron and the character Tron are two different things. There's a video game called Tron in the Tron universe. There's a character called Tron. Those are not the same thing. And a lot of people think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Sure, I will slightly agree. They could have had a version of Tron, but why? Why would Julian Dillinger knowingly put the Tron program into his grid? It would stop it's literally made to stop what the Dillingers have tried to do multiple times, which is make an army, And so, first off, that's part of it. Also, Tron is a video game, and the movie's based on the video game and not the character Tron.
True.
And if you understand that, and that there just so happens to be a character named Tron in the movie and video game, Tron is legit just a security program. And so he's like the head security program. He goes and protects users.
In the first one. And in the second one, he's corrupted and works for Clue as Rinsler, which...
Yeah. Which you learn a lot about that build up in Uprising.
Yeah.
But it's just, to me, it makes me kind of mad. I'm like, bro, don't talk, I'm not going to go around and hate on a movie if I don't know enough about it.
What's funny is that there's so much hate of this movie on the internet. Every single person that I interacted with at the theater, both times we watched it, everybody loved it.
Yeah. Everyone liked it, and
I'm sure it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know, and I'm sure that the haters out there just genuinely don't like having fun, But this is a fun movie. A lot of people take movies too seriously. Legit too seriously, and you lose the sense of what it means to be watching a movie. This movie is a fun Tron movie. It's gonna be a cult hit. It's a cult hit. It's not a classic, but the Tron genre is a cult classic genre. And so this movie is meant for those people. And Ares was willing to sacrifice a bunch of money because he loved it, and that's what I admired about his work. For Tron, and that's why I really like him in Tron Ares, is just because he is one of us in the end, and he just super nerd Tron, so why not, right? I think you should go watch it if you haven't, and if you hate it, then you missed the point of it. It visually looks good and it sounds cool, so at least hopefully you appreciate that part. So
movie is good. I don't know what else to say. Go watch the movie because Tron Ares was fun, it was enjoyable, and I don't think that there's a reason why people should not like it, honestly, personally.
At least see it in IMAX or Screen X, which I want to see in Screen X this week.
At the very least, go watch the 9 Inch Nails music video. I don't know what to say.
It is a 9 Inch Nails music video. There you go.
But
it's good.
Very good. Cool. Yeah, go watch the movie. Anyway, everything that happened this week was in fact still better than the movie Tombstone. And if you don't believe me, don't worry. You don't have to believe me. You just have to believe that Tombstone is the worst movie in the world. Never seen it, never will. Peace.
Delicious hot schmoes.